So Scorpio, I want to start with you. This is activating your first house of who you are, how you are seen. It may feel a little overwhelming. You're being seen. You're like on the stage, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. So just kind of tune in and honor whatever is flowing, coming up for you. Be mindful of yourself. Be mindful of, like, do I belong here? What does your heart have to say? And feel into that. And do I belong feeling this way, being seen this way? The way you treat yourself is the way the world treats you. So maybe it's time that you stopped treating yourself on a lower frequency and elevating and creating a I would say a self-fulfilling prophecy with using your voice. That's kind of the affirmation. Choose your own affirmation, shifting your attitude. So Uranus opposing this, possibly, that is the significant changer, especially for you in the stage of relationships, the platform of relationships.
Woo, inshallah and ashe, we're about to peak here. Welcome to the full moon flower power lunar eclipse in the season of Scorpio. I'm so excited. Divine wills blessings to you 333 plus magical energetic beings. Are we going to hit that 444 this month? Setting my intention. Angel numbers. So go ahead and share the excitement with your friends along with other like-minded musers out in the galactic universe. Either way, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing. So this energy, the energy of this eclipse is actually the death of an idea. It's the transformation of something new, a definition, a description, a restriction that you may have actually placed upon yourself, or even society often does that to us. Mental clarity versus a mental attachment, a new perspective in our thinking, a narrative, a voice in our mind, airspace, wasting airspace, sometimes a validation of the voice. But the universe, the goddess of the galaxy, is putting an end to that mindset. Whatever it is, often it's a no culture. It's a mindset that has kind of perished. It's dissipating. It's been intimately changed or bound even. I think of like the ball and the chain in a relationship, kind of weird idea. Chained to our ability to actually create, produce, manifest in our world, in our environment. So with that, go ahead and hit the white rabbit. Do so right now. It really is the only way that we can really make certain that this algorithm will actually give us the nutrition quotient that we need, that our soul deserves, heartfelt, feeling like skipping stones down to the stones in our bones, the earth star, navigating that treadway, our inner value quotient, our optimistic venue, the love quotient by design, even a belief quotient actually. But while we're waiting for people to hop on, join us live, tune into the replay, tune in the afternoon, whatever timeline you're on or lifetime you're even in. And because it's the full moon, you know, we are ready. Now we are really ready to manifest the law of attraction and kind of elevate that degree. So depending on those self-depreciating thoughts and self-criticism, self-sabotaging thoughts, attitudes, whatever that is, we must execute them, take them to the executioner, like get rid of them, immediately. There's also possibly an awareness of the underworld airspace, if you will. I think of Hades and Pluto and going to the Shamans portal in the lower worlds. And it's not just you, it's the entire bounty of the world around us. It's the galaxy, the inner and the outers, the lower, the middle, and the upper worlds. And being that our beliefs, along with our ability to receive, are kind of in an elemental alignment, there's this plan of action that's aligning with the heavenly universe, the divine, and its love, universal streams of love. And I talked about the quantum field and particles and waves yesterday. Be sure to tune into that. But it's just about bringing in that intention, one of the 5, so that intention is solidified, creating a Jedi Knight, a rippling effect like a Jedi, and placing it in the Earth star and taking the action of initiating the intention, showing the goddess of the universe that you are really taking in the full pour and you're ready to live your gift and your purpose, reminding all of the things, situations, and so forth that are no longer allowed to take up space in our mind. So this rippling, this effect, sends those waves out into the world, and being in conversation with the universe, the heavenly universe, the oneness, there's this divine pour of a thoughtful, loving conversation being in alignment with the oneness. So there's this gift of manifesting, and it's adding to a healing stream, streams of grace, streams of love, streams of manifestation, streams of even a revenue stream, feeling different about that stream, like it's streaming in from the heavenly universe, different than something that we may have ever thought before. It's kind of a new frequency brainwave is kind of what it feels like. But this allowance is coming from the heavenly universe, and it's providing for one, it's providing for all in a super galactic, juicy way. But we need to be kind of detached from how it arrives, but yet open to receiving at the same time. All we got to do is show up. So the gift here is to go deep, deeper than deep into the treasure box, into the caverns of the waters and the deep, still waters. Go deeper than you ever have before. And those emotional thread lines, just validating them along with our thoughts. So I do get the vision of that deep thinking statue. You know, I think it's in Italy. I believe I was there and I saw it. But there's a place in the in-between and the nothingness, the void. It reminds me of Doctor Strange, between the Earth Star and the Shaman's portal. And the deeper we can go with that allowance, if you will, just allowing ourselves to be all that we are in the moment, hold that pause point for 20 seconds, the clearer the access is actually going to be, so we can actually look through the door and see into our future, leaving no stone unturned, whether it's a thought, a feeling, a belief, as we kind of sit in stillness. And we're kind of in we're just in allowance. So this is, in all actuality, it may just be a mind game, something that we've been playing with ourselves, a mind game, but just the allowance, being in allowership for all of this to actually work and experience and feel and even purge, transform our heart space. Literally dusting off any cobwebs that are filtering in and on our heart. Literally filtering in and off of our hearts, like little particles. I talked about that. And just knowing that our heart's fully open, it's on board to do this powerful initiation, the work we've already done. So remember that each and every one of us is unconditionally, by divine goddess of the night, universe, whatever, we are all connected to the oneness, unconditionally loved to this energy. And those universal streams, the heavenly universe, is really streaming down upon us. And again, remember yesterday I did talk about quantum physics, particles and waves, and we are in this cosmic brew. We're percolating. I don't know if you can see all those little particles, but percolating those seeds, those intentions. So re-listen if your soul feels called to yesterday's insights. But with that, my name is Tanya D. If you're new to my show, welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please heartfelt do, gauging your heart. Go ahead and hit the white rabbit on YouTube. That's generally where I am. And even listen to my Musing with Tanya D podcast. I've got some amazing interviews this season. But the season of Taurus, we've got the Earth Star, Nature Empathy, the Heart Center. We've got the Relational channel, Shaman's Portal, the Solar Plexus, our third eye visioning, along with our individual unique energetic thumbprint, the I Am Presence. This is actually unique and individual to each and every one of us. And all of these are just percolating. They are spinning. So our energy centers have inner wheel spins and outer wheel spins. So kind of feel if you can feel your spin. But before, again, I go any further, I really love to give a shout out once again to my new peeps entering the village. My village is growing. My tribe's excelling. I'm so grateful for that. I really need a community, quality over quantity, new subscribers. I just love to give a validation, a voice of acknowledgement that I do see you, and it comes up over here on my screen. New friends and guests, welcome to the show. But my intention truly is to hit the 444 peeps, angel numbers by month's end. Are you in? So share with your friends, like-minded groups and whatnot. And of course, shout out to those of you that do tune in every day. I have been on my journey since the beginning. It's been a wild ride. It really does take a village and a tribe, a community. And that's kind of what our world needs really right now, is community. So with that, thanks for joining in. And also if you do tune in later on the replay on whatever timeline you're in. Remember a comment if you do feel like you need a message for your day or the weekend. I do have some for today. Sharing is just another way of paying it all forward. You could, of course, find me on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and whatnot by Divine Design. I'm kind of, I'm scattering myself is what I feel like. My particles, I got to merge myself. Just remember, I am your otherworldly shamanic reflecting assistant. You truly are your own healer by Divine Design, but sometimes we do need an otherworldly life coach assistant, myself included, to get us out of our energetic way so we can get out on that highway. So, the daily snippet, what's this all about? Well, by design, I kind of look at the planets. No, I'm not an astrologer. I do have insight into them, the cosmic insights, the elementals of the galaxy doing their cosmic dance. I do follow the lunar energies of the moon through the seasons of the gates as a reflector. It's quite interesting when I'm online and when I'm not offline. I am a hermit by design as well, and I'm a role model, so being a role model. But for the season of Taurus, we do have the Earth star, our 10th energetic center online. So this is like a gravitational magnetic pole. It's all things nature. Maybe you're a nature empath, a natural empath. If you're not sure, take my Change Your Star quiz. I do have the link in the show notes. It's actually super fun to find out your intuitive gift or psychic ability. We generally have more than one. Sometimes we're needing the thread line. Sometimes they come on line at different times. But we are really lowering the drawbridge. We have been this entire week, but we have kind of transformed our inner realm, the imaginal. Now we're kind of lowering the drawbridge, taking it out into the stage of life. This is our internet value is being shown upon the world outside of us, shining that innate value, creations, producing manifestations. It's like, what are we producing? Are we being productive? Are we out into the world? Are we shining? Are we illuminating for all the world to see? Are you feeling the rise of your internet value? So our mind's literally off on holiday. It's sowing the seeds, words of valuing ourselves on the inside. We're flicking all that shift away, the dirt, the dirty words. So we may have subscribed to creating words of newer value, speaking them to ourselves all day long. And if you have to or you need to, that's what I'd be doing. I also do a 4 pillars, elemental foundation, useful ingredients for the day. Sometimes I score into the subtle energies, the energy centers, our auric fields, channels, pathways, all these things. They're all connected. Even as a reflector, I always am asking myself, is this the right time and am I with the right people all the time, even if it's in a group, a virtual group? And what am I seeing that nobody else could see? Because I'm a watcher, right? I'm a watcher. I'm an observer. So what's the movement that I'm creating? And then within that movement, what's the solution that I'm creating there? But being in the cosmic brew of this initiation, this awareness of our thoughts that are percolating thoughts, you might be a little more hyper aware, super aware. Maybe your mental clarity is really crisp and clear. Maybe you're reconciling some thoughts, even a behavior. Maybe your ideas are a little stretched out there. Maybe they're a little radical, innovative, over the top because of the elements today. But the key is literally, it's always our feelings, our emotional field, feeling our feelings. What do you feel is the underlying thought? Are your thoughts weighing in? Are they balancing your feelings? Are they threading the emotions? Are you getting some emotional waves? So knowing that if you get that funny sensation, a weird one usually, like in the Matrix when Neo sees the black cat, maybe kind of dip your toe in a little further into that wave. Maybe we're coming to a new kind of tippity top processor, a new percolating idea, radical, innovative, really out there, just seeing things with a new set of ideals. There's actually an energetic center and air. Air is all about ideals, which is fascinating. And it's different. It's like the unlimited possibilities that we can manifest that are very different than maybe we've ever seen before. And if you can imagine it, it's already here. The ability for it to become solid, to take form, manifest it. That's all we got to do. But you got to hold the signature seed sound for at least 20 seconds, maybe every hour on the hour, at least once a day. Hold the note in the morning, maybe before you go to bed. And what is that potential? Sometimes it's so simple. We can taste it. Maybe it's just coming down and giving you a new potential structure, a category, like when people ask what you do. That's always interesting for me. The art of words. What's a word that describes your potential? And navigating that, a definition of the word kind of puts an imprint upon it. A description, even a phrase. A holistic Sha medium, that's a phrase. So getting a prosperity, kind of getting a prosperous allowance from Goddess Universe. That's what's happening, allowing Goddess Universe to assist us in this choreography. Really, it's our prime directive. It's our gift and purpose. It's what we came here to do. It's a unique way of communicating it. It might even be light language. It could be angelic language. Just allowing our mind to kind of do that cosmic reset, telepathy of what we're capable of manifesting, creating, producing. in our day-to-day life. So allow time and space to identify in your mind's eye, your third eye, and your solar plexus. They're kind of doing this dance, if you will. How do you see yourself manifesting? And give yourself that allowance, whatever that looks like. Allowing your mind to really give yourself a greater outer value in your day-to-day world, and really seeing your innate value, and let it percolate, let it bubble. So it's a connection that's really kind of experienced through our solar plexus, kind of navigating our self-esteem and lighting that up a fire. And honestly, there's no proof that really comes from it, but our heart's going to validate it. We know it's a gauge. It's coming to this unique aspect of understanding ourselves along with the divine connection, knowing we are connected to the divine. Possibly you might have a breakthrough in your spiritual space, in that higher acumen, and discovering sides of yourselves that you may not have discovered before. You've kept them hiding, and revising a revision of your gift and your purpose. So it's time to kind of come out of that unbrainwashed thinking, the brainwash, like scrubbing the field, to align where we do belong within our heart space versus what we kind of allow ourselves to think is possible, allowing our heart to be the gauge, the guiding light, the star that's kind of emanating within us. You might have that aha eureka moment. So this may just be the first time that you actually described yourself in a very radical way with no resistance, actually. And the choreography of our mind it's a descriptive tool. And knowing that our mind, it's an adjective that has this new potential, our mind often dismantles anything that it's not ready for, or it feels very unfamiliar, anything that feels scratchy, young metal. So in other words, you might fight it. You might resist it. It might be a doubting voice, airspace, right? But your heart really is the gauge. It's the barometer to knowing. It's the knowing sister, the words that actually reside within and that you belong with. So that's kind of what's percolating. Be sure to listen in to the Musing Moon meditation, by the way. That is on the highway with my few announcements. Where is my moon? There it is. I am excited. I have a Scorpio new moon, so I've been very excited for a while. But the Musing Moon meditation is on the highway, and we are all going to be experiencing some kind of ending. It's like the rising of our inner fires, the flames. And at the same time, this meditation, I take you from the Shaman's portal into the Earth star, releasing out of the solar plexus. I probably should have brought in the Imaginal Vision Center, but it is what it is. Just enjoy it, right? Have some fun. It's all about the fun. I do have a Musing Moon podcast out. The Voice of Nature Spirits Speak Through Stick Divination. This is this week's audio artist, Mel Hoffman. We actually pulled a card from her Sacred Journey Oracle deck. If you want to tune in there, if you're out there for your musing pleasure, just want to tune in. But she's this week's artist, super fun. Remember to comment, really, your favorite audio room artist so I can have them on again. You can find that at Musing with Tanya D podcast. Just Google Tanya D, TanyaD.tv/podcast, Apple, Spotify, all the places pretty much. On Sundays, I do a mystery guest. I've got to find my little button here. There we go. My musing mystery guest. So it's the 4 pillars chart and the rising of the origins. I do it in that community. It's all about finding your useful element, your elemental foundation. And I realized this morning that I'm actually entering myself a new 10-year luck pillar. I kind of realized it a month ago, say, but I'm kind of feeling it. I kind of have all of the elementals. I'm a yang wood daymaster, so I need all of the elementals for balance, not just 1 or 2. I need the whole shebang. And also I do the Rising of the Origins. I do a free online immersion twice a year. This one starts June 1st. It's 5 days in between the in-betweens to really immerse ourselves in discovering of our soul and our life purpose. I'm editing and crafting a new handout for that as well in the container. And I also offer cowrie shell divinations if you're curious and need some insight. So I generally, people usually call me in for the ancestor realm a lot more, just because I see things differently. I give you a prescription. But cowrie shell divinations is an art brought to the West by Elder Malidoma Somé. I'm a protege of his. He's an indigenous African shaman of the Dagar tribe in Dano, Burkina Faso. I was actually there in 2020. He's actually left this dimension. He's transformed into the ancestor realm himself. But I've been a student, a protege of his since about 2012. He actually came in on my peripheral vision. My guides kind of sent me to him, and I waited a very long time. I never left his side until he left the earth plane. I have crazy visions there. And also, I'm taking a few inspirited people, like-minded, to Mongolia for an adventure. Again, working with some medicine people of Mongolia, so I'm super stoked about that. If you're curious, the price of that's going to go up the end of May, just so you know, so be sure to check that out. I do have the link in the show notes. If you're being called to work in an indigenous platform or an indigenous adventure, be more of a traveler, not a tourist. A Taurus, not a Taurus. You could be a Taurus, but that's great. We do have a Yin Water Pig of a day. Yin water is rivers flowing. Yang water is the big ocean. So there's this undercurrent going on. We do have balance, however. We have more yin water, which is allies and friends. And we do have one enemy, the yang water, the pig. The dragon also has yin water in storage, but the pig also has yang wood hidden. So there's kind of a topsy-turvy happening here. Yin water's personality, the energy of the day is intuitive, full of insights, being curious, likes to find the answers, the gifted ideas, the gift in the ideas, the intuition and the curiosity. So the yang water, the pig is not a friend. It's like an enemy that's actually in plain sight, but maybe we can't see them. So it's like a blind spot, literally sitting right in front of us. And then we do have what's called a radical performance, radical ideas, radical innovation. So this really does go with the cosmic energies as well. It's funny how this always plays out by divine design. But the yang wood there and the yang earth is hidden. That's a proper power. This is energy that's, it's just knowing that we're all gifted and we're cultivating and we're contemplating all these things to give us some great direction. I would say divine direction in our intuitive gifts and also those abilities, giving us direction. That's what earth does. And this is a mountain for water. It gives water direction, yin water predominantly, because that's like rivers coursing even through our veins, right? So we do even have yin wood hidden there. And we've got the rabbit. So yin wood is, you know, that's our performance. So it's about being kind, intuitively kind, gifted, ideas, innovation, a delivery of words, wordsmithing. And then the yin water on the year is also our ally, our friend. So that's being seen on the stage of life, where fire again represents money, assets. It's the spirit of wealth for water. So this is wealth that we actually create, possibly by being charismatic and passionate about what we are creating, passionate about our creativity, our intuitive gifts, being charismatic, being excited, creating the momentum, which we actually need, and being a wordsmith today, innovating the words that really cultivate a very different way of producing whatever your heart desires to manifest. This really is kind of the artist's way. So go ahead and share your rituals, start acting upon what it is that your heart wishes to manifest, taking it out upon the stage of life. And what doesn't belong is being kind of exterminated, dissipating into the ethers. Gift and purpose is being redesigned. It's being divinely choreographed, if you will, on the stage of life. So what are we missing? Metal. We have no metal, mineral. So our day has no resources, words. So I would literally connect with your intuition, being intuitively guided. And then what's percolating? What ideas are percolating in your mind? And water. Water is the yinnest of all of the energies, deep inner waters. Fire is the peak of yang energy. So we have this polarity, which ironically is balanced in the dragon month. Water's peak time is actually the winter, and this fire energy is rising. It's soon to be at its peak, birthed next week because we head into summer. And the pig is the birth of wood, which is nature. At the hour of sheep, the goat, we have nature. We've got a wood trine. So this is like our intentions, like really percolating, setting them. They're going to be innovative, like an idea, maybe detached from like the physical world and what this world tells us what's creative and what isn't. Setting our intentions, just know that they're not written in stone. We can alter them, create an altar, maybe change the words, being a wordsmith, snip away some, add others. But the messages, you can't make this stuff up. You already know the first one, but I did have some attached. The mystical shaman, which I love. This is the 8th energetic center. This is where the imaginal and the mystical actually happens, going into the shaman's portal. A little pinhole above our head reminds me of a vinyl record with the little dot. The 38, that's committing to a new belief, being mindful of our intuition, and being able to, are we able to feel and sense the plan of action that we want to initiate with this intention? The words that really are vibrating, they're in alignment, we're in law of attraction. So intuitively sensing what no longer serves who we are and how we treat ourselves, how we show up into the world, loving how we are transforming and who we are transforming into, like birthing anew. But this is the symbol of the myth maker, the storyteller. It's the shaman's realm. It's not made or defined by a story itself. It kind of feels like the Merlin effect, actually. But being in observership, evolving through it, perceiving through all of the different aspects, it's the panoramic view on the cloud line. So it's the mystical shaman, and when we get into this space, it really it represents our ability to be the gifted dreamer, the gifted dreamer, the very dream, the imaginal dream, the visualization of that dream, a new story, a new narrative, a new myth into being from that imaginal realm. Holding it for 20 seconds, dancing between these worlds, wearing the cloak. It reminds me of the cloak in, I think it was one of the Hobbit. He wore a cloak when he got to hide himself. Just wearing that loosely around your shoulders and singing the song, singing the world like the singers of the realm into being, into manifesting into this world. So it's kind of reminding us to be in this world, but also traveling through this world and not allowing it to define us. Don't be defined by it or become too attached to whatever experience it is. So this is the symbol of authentic alchemy for all elements of life. Everything has a aspect to it, a spiritual aspect, along with a material one. You know, the elementals are elements, but they're also a spirit within each element on top of that and within those worlds, especially with the Earth star, Taurus, and the sun. And when we remember this, all manner of miracles, manifestations are, everything's inevitably possible. So we're kind of being invited, which is awesome, to consider this ability to live without attachment to anything, detaching from all outcomes. We're also called to create and dream our life. Dream our life, imagine our life into being as if it is already here, and to act on this inspiration through the divine impulses of those particles without fixating on a known story of what success looks like or achievement. The universe knows. So it's like being in observership, being impartial to the stories that we tell ourselves along with others. Or on the other side of the coin, what if you could become a mystery all to yourself? The shaman's portal is the mystical empath world. It's the imaginal realm. So who would you become if you stopped telling yourself the tells that you defined yourself up until this very moment? Because we're shifting gears, we're dissipating. We've already experienced the past, and we don't have to live in that story that has those roots back there. So what if there was no need to explain who you are to anybody, not even to yourself? So the way to your next extraordinary life is to really become that blank slate. See, paint. Go be your own artist. Allow the form of your dreams and desires to show up as they will. So this is really a sign, literally, of manifesting a life beyond our wildest dreams. It's totally going with the energy of this day. I was excited when I pulled it on Monday, but I'm actually got even more excited yesterday because all the cards have been going with the week. However, I didn't stop here because other cards actually connected to this one. So this one's the curse, which don't get all topsy-turvy about the curse. It's not what you think it is. Sometimes our mind gets bummed out with the word, right? But this is like the limiting stories of our ancestors, karma, former lifetimes, even events that were preordained that we have to go through to get to the magic of the other side. But it's the source of those negative patterns that can show up as a disease, a destructive force, blocking our creative energy, forces of adversity when I do a divination. So this energy is often what holds us hostage to those false stories, narratives that we confuse for our day-to-day reality. So it's about recognizing the original wound that's playing out in our life. Just in that moment of recognizing it, split second, that's when we actually heal it. But the 14 is actually the degree of this lunar flower power eclipse, adding again to the 5 on this 55555 day. So you cannot literally make this shift up. So this tells me that that's dissipating. It's a message to be aware of our actions and act with impeccable, I was going to say teachable, impeccable intentions, being impeccable with those words, being in integrity, alignment with them. So we don't create debt or karma sooner or later. You know, somebody's got to pay for that, pay for the piper. So what you do to others, you also do to yourself. So do unto yourself first, and then the people around you get that as well. It's a flavor added ingredient, really. But we do have the opportunity to clean all this up and become anew. That's the message here. It's dissipating. Doesn't stop there, though. I've got one more message. You cannot make this up. Where am I? Here I go. So I'd carry this all into the weekend, I'm telling you, but we've got lightning, which reminds me of Uranus, the lightning bolt of aha moments, having a boundary, creating sacred space around what we believe about ourselves to be true, which is hilarious because Uranus is also in the mix of this lunar eclipse. So do you believe you're actually worth more? You're going to add some spice to that. Expect the unexpected. Have you been undervaluing yourself, not giving yourself enough credit, honoring those beliefs? So we really do have what we intuitively sense and what we feel online. So that should be the action that we really initiate. It's kind of like the God spot. This is a lightning pole of information, insight. So what does lightning represent to you? I myself, I love lightning. I love thunder. I love sleeping outdoors under the sky, the galaxy, nature. But this is an electrical discharge versus a magnetic one. It's bold, it's bright. It comes from the sky striking in the earth, or maybe turn it around, coming from the earth and striking out into the sky. So it's kind of got the sound of thunder, the lightning and thunder, but it's also the energy of the East in Chinese medicine theory and feng shui. It's the rabbit, the tiger, the dragon, which again at the hour of the goat, sorry, oh my gosh, and the tiger. We've got stuff happening for us. So this really is a gift. We've been gifted with our destiny. It's stuff that's in alignment with our passion, and life really is in the harmonics with all of the existence of Earth. The Earth never stands still. It's always doing its own harmony, planting seeds, the Earth star. So that's really what we're magnetizing. Lightnings arrive to really wake us up, jolting us into accepting a new destiny, a fated one, allowing an initiation to release what it is that's really in the way of us fulfilling our gift and our purpose. It's magnetizing this energy. It's actually adding fire, lightning to it. Otherwise, we're going to be bound to this karmic fate. So this is the time to really open up, be courageous, be daring, be like lightning, just strike outside of that little treasure box. So I would take as much time and space as you actually feel into your heart, just allowing the allowance, the thoughts that are in your heart alignment, creating an elevated net value, knowing by design that you are ever so worth it. Look through the eyes of the universe, right? God's eyes. God always works in our flavor. Once, especially when we detach from the outcome, know it's coming, but just don't have any idea about how it's going to come. Just be in allowing. The treasure box is cracked, holding the tone. Again, 20 seconds. Whatever it is that's lighting up your heart gauge by design. And with that, may the force be with you today. Super excited. Go do your rituals. Go do your intentions. Be intended, tending to those manifestations that you're creating. So yeah, super excited. And I'll see you on the other side. Ashe, blessings.
I do. What's really amazing about doing the energies healing sessions is how much it really connects me to the spiritual realm. And that can be sometimes an ancestor coming through for a client, or it can be a specific animal that's there for them. It can also be a being like Kuan Yin, for example, or trying to think of some other ones. Well, Pegasus is one of mine. One time I was working with a friend and I saw this black stallion and I mentioned it to her after the session and she said, how did you know about the black stallion? It's like she was already in touch with that. So sometimes I don't even know where the information is coming from, but it just comes through. And that's part of what I really love about it. And then also in terms of the whole chakra system, a lot of times people's chakras will become